Hey, everybody. It's Sunday evening.
Sunday evening with a lot of cloud covers.
We have a storm coming. So if our signal is bad, we are going to do our best we can to push through it.
It doesn't look that great now. Ed said 5 by 5, but
What's that mean again? Loud and clear?
I think so. But the uh, signal is not looking that great, and it's just weather. Lots of cloud cover, and y'all know how bad AT&T is. So we still have not gotten swapped over to the central access. I still have that number saved, but we just have not gotten it done.
Just got to fill it out.
I know.
We're just terrible at that.
Tanya, I saw it as I was driving from Wetumpka. Looks ugly y'all's way.
It's thundering out there.
Yeah, we were getting thunder just a few minutes ago.
Well, other than that, how's y'all's day been?
Well, it's not their day. It's Father's Day.
Well, some of them might
Some
be
of them
fathers.
fathers. But there ain't many.
Well, how was your
Happy
day?
Father's Day. It's just another day. Can
Well,
you
we
send me
tried to.
praying for my dad? He is in the hospital. Samantha, we sure will.
All right, go ahead and update them on
No,
our tick.
I am not jumping into the tick thing 2 minutes into the live.
Huh?
I will tell them about it here in a little bit. But
Well.
yes, we can be praying for Samantha's dad.
Well, did you at least have a good Father's Day? It wasn't just another
So
day.
Zoe got me something that I have been wanting for
You actually talked about it on the
a
live
long time. Did I really?
with the Browns talking about. I didn't know she was from Louisiana or had been.
But I didn't know I had talked about
You
that.
talked about that pot.
So y'all know these big Cajun. Let me move my hands the right direction. These big Cajun roasters, the real thick roasting pans that you see them. Almost all Cajun cooks that I watch on different social media, they all use these big roasting pans. And I've wanted one forever. And Zoe got me one for Father's Day. And I am trying to figure out what the first thing to cook is.
You had said you wanted one and that you had one saved. And so one day you gave me your phone. I got on your Amazon cart, sent it to myself, and then deleted it out of our message so that you wouldn't know you sent it to me. And then I ordered it.
I see a sorry Christy. What happened?
It's her first Father's Day without her dad.
Oh.
I kind of missed mine today, too.
Joni made homemade biscuits, gravy, and sausage. Boys had Thai food brought in for her husband. I had breakfast made for me this morning, but not by Zoe or the kids. We had a deacons meeting at Shawnee's. I'm not sure why we had a deacons meeting on Father's Day, but I guess it was a good excuse to go get breakfast.
Yeah.
So I got to edit a video till almost 1 a.m. Y'all saw in the video that we were at Peach Jam till after 10, and I finally told Zoe, I said, hey, that's about enough of Ashley McBride. I need to go to bed. And she said, no, you need to edit a video. I said, oh.
Uh-huh.
So we ran home and I worked on the video until 1 a.m. and got it ready to go and was back up and at Shawnee's by 8 and on to church. My goodness.
Miss Beverly, she's glad to be home so she can watch your son and her family. One of her sons they were all spread out in front of us last night.
Well, then they were at church this morning.
Then they were at church.
I have not. I knew who they were when I saw them last night, but I haven't seen them at our church before.
I have.
I've missed it if they came. So I did see them at church today, and I thought, well, we just saw them last night, and here they are at church this morning.
I didn't want to be weird and go up and say, hey, I know your mom. But But we did see them last night, and they had a good time together.
Stephanie said, now I'm going to have to do a Cajun cooking video.
Uh-huh.
Well, I've got lots of stuff I want to make in that pan. That's why I've been dreaming of having one for so long, but they are really expensive. And Zoe got me one. Catherine said she thought she's going to kick the bucket before she made it home.
Let me just tell you, Catherine's grandson, Eli, is the best behaved little boy.
Yeah, we were kind of wishing Rhett behaved a little bit more like him last night.
Eli didn't get all wound up when he was tired. But Red got in the truck. The first thing he did was laid over. I said, we are 3 minutes from home. You better not go to bed. Or better not fall asleep. Wait till you get home. And that's what he did. He got home. I don't even know if he got in the shower. He went ahead and no, I don't think he did. I think he just crawled up in the bed and went to sleep. And I said, well,
let him go.
All right.
He was still laying in that same spot this morning. He crashed.
He did.
Because he had conditioning yesterday morning. So he had to get up early to start with. And it was hot. He was drained. And then we came home,
he
got a shower. And then we went to the Peach Jam and walked 5-6 miles. And then sat in a concert. And he was toasted.
Ate all the things.
Ed said he met Ashley McBride at the Buc-ee's.
Well, that's cool. The little girl that opened for them was pretty neat. She was pretty good. I've never heard of her before.
He has been, her name is Maggie Ball. And I had looked her up because I hadn't ever heard of it. So I looked her up to see if I knew any of her songs. I didn't know any of her songs. But I did find out, and she talked about it last night, that she has been in Keith Urban's band for the last year.
Yeah.
And she plays all sorts of different instruments. So she plays fiddle, electric guitar, acoustical guitar, banjo, and she played a little bit of Keith Urban last night, but she's been a utility player in his band for a year.
And she plays lots of instruments, and she did really good.
Lori, I showed a little bit in the video. I have to be careful how much of that stuff I include because it's copyrighted music. So I can't show you a whole lot. I can only show you a few seconds at a time. But she was okay, but Larry Fleet put on a show.
Yeah, that's some good stuff.
And he knew a bunch of the Ashley McBride songs. It's okay, but that wasn't a show. Larry Fleet was a show.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me. He's a Chris Stapleton kind of guy.
Very much Chris Stapleton.
He's not there to put on a performance. He just sings and plays his instrument.
They put on a good show. Now, he's not dancing around. It's not fireworks and all that goofy stuff. But they did a really good show.
Yeah.
And Ashley McBride's music was good. It's just stuff you hear on the radio, and I'm not going to say it was a bad show. I enjoyed it. It's just not my thing. Yeah. Larry Fleet's working man music, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still want to see the Red Clay Strays. Well, they're still around pretty good bit. Yes. Catherine said his guitar player put on a show. Yeah. So he's got a bass player, and his shoulder strap for his bass guitar has Crazy Legs on it. And there's a reason behind that. Because he danced the entire time.
The whole time.
I mean, and I'm not talking about a little bit of dancing. I'm talking about pure put Jason Smith to shame.
Yeah.
Jason couldn't hold that.
He gets paid big bucks to dance.
I'm gonna have to find some video clips and send them to the farmer and say, buddy, you got to step up your game because this one wiped you out.
Yeah,
you can't hang with this guy.
Uh-huh.
he couldn't hang. Catherine did say he looks like Jason. She laid over. She said he kind of looks like Jason.
He just gets paid a whole lot more than Jason does for dancing.
So I think it was Jones Christie. Larry Fleet's coming here the 29th. Christie, it'll be worth going to see. Now the music's good. Don't get me wrong. It's just a good show.
Yeah.
But it's, their guitar guys are moving around a little bit more. He's more of the Chris Stapleton style. He's standing at the microphone. He's doing his music. That's the end of it. He did walk over to the side, and he danced with a little girl of one of the Lions Club members or whoever knows that was standing side stage. Did Cog not go? They did go.
Yeah.
Jason put out a couple of reels about being there. They just weren't there for the concert part. Did you see the Walkers are on vacation? Jacob's asked me that twice, and I've missed it the first time.
I did. They're on their across the states.
Sorry, Jacob. I wasn't ignoring you. I was just talking the first time I saw it, and I hadn't quite got back to it yet.
They were Cassie had tagged or talked about Gary driving 10 hours on Father's Day today in that RV.
Oh, I have not seen anything today.
Yeah. She put out a happy Father's Day. Sorry, you gotta drive 10 hours today. I saw something just not long ago of a reel.
Seeing as I had a little bit of a late night and an early morning, when we got in from church and changed clothes and kind of sat back and in the recliner and dozed off a little bit, and Zoe was gonna fire up the grill and do some stuff, and I woke up to the sound of, Matt, I've got a fire. And Rhett comes in and says, Daddy, is it okay to just turn the grill off because there's been a fire? And I said, yeah, buddy, probably some of the grease lit off or something. And he said, well, Mama says the food's ready, but it might just be because the flames burn it up.
I told him not to wake you up, that I would.
Oh, well, he did.
I said, Matt, go get water. I'll figure it out. And she said, well, the first thing you need to do, you got to hear, is you need to turn the grill off, Mom. I said, okay. So we unplugged the grill and the flame slowly went down, but everything was ready. And then the flame blew really big, so everything got extra crispy.
Yeah.
But it was still good.
I heard something. I saw. Let me back up just a minute. Well, where's my mouse? Get over here. All right. So Diana said, I expected to see bushels of peaches, but not one peach in sight. Well, if you look, there's baskets of peaches all across the front of that stage. And
I didn't video some because it did rain a little, but there was 3 or 4 different of the peach farmers.
The big farms,
that had tents and displays and all set up with them.
Well, there are peaches all across the front of that stage, but I found out last night that the auction, I thought it was on the same Saturday as the Peach Jam. The auction and pageants and all that. It's next week.
Yeah.
This was kicking off Peach Week.
Yeah.
So the Peach auction and parade and all that stuff's not till the 28th.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Or ain't that what they said? 28th.
It's the 28th.
That's 2 weeks.
Yeah, because they'll have they have to do the pageant. They'll do the pageant, and that takes all week because they do one girl at a time through the week.
And then they'll have to have all them announced and then have them in the parade. So they got to get all that over with.
Auction off.
Well, they said the auction was going to be at one of the churches, and it's on the 28th. So it's 2 weeks from Peach Jam before they do the auction.
Because I think the pageant is this week.
Okay.
And so the next week, they spread peach month. It's spread across the whole month.
Sounds like you need a fire blanket. Catherine says she enjoyed sitting with us last night.
We liked it. We had a good time.
We gave Catherine's grandson a little bit of a hard time about stuff, but the little one he went walking with us for a while.
He was just.
I saw your hair.
Yeah.
But when he got tired, he just kind of sat in the chair and he was watching the concert. And every once in a while, he'd turn around and give Catherine a thumbs up.
Catherine say, "You okay?" And he go.
He'd give her a thumbs up.
He enjoyed himself. Red, on the other hand, was head banging and flopping.
I videoed a little bit of his dancing. So, y'all, I didn't give you any background on that. When you saw Rhett's dancing, Rhett had just had deep fried Oreos and funnel cake, and he was on fumes, and he was running strictly off powdered sugar.
Yes, he was.
At that point.
Yep.
I mean, it was powdered sugar dancing. That was it. He didn't have anything left in the tank. He was dead.
Yeah.
But he said, "Daddy, I want funnel cake." So I went and got him one, and I brought back deep fried Oreos, and him and Zoe cranked into them, and he started dancing. She said that was his first concert ever. Well, he took it in because he sat in the chair and listened and watched the concert.
His fingers, I saw him. He was tapping his fingers on the chair, and he was just having a good time sitting there.
Meanwhile, Rhett and Evan didn't make it for very long.
Evan didn't make it.
Them two was going for a while.
Wanda asked if I got my grilling expertise from Michael Key.
It probably looked a lot like Michael Key's Wing Adventure.
From the Wing Exterminator.
Did the toys make it home? They did.
They did. They've been playing with them today.
I really enjoyed watching Farmer Rhett dancing. Farmer Rhett dances almost every year, but he got cranked up on the powdered sugar.
He was tired.
But we still had a good time. It was a little late. It had rained some Friday, so we kind of stayed in and didn't risk it. Even though the weather moved through before it started, we could have went.
Yeah, we really thought that it was going to get canceled out, but the weather broke up. But at that point, we had already settled in and had been.
You're shaking the computer.
Sorry, and had been grilled dinner and all. So we ixnayed that plan.
Yeah, just stayed in. But that's why the video came out a little bit late, because I had told y'all I would show you some of it, and we didn't make it Friday, and I didn't want to just leave the video hanging. So I said, you know what? We'll include conditioning and everything we got going on Saturday, and I'll put the video out a little bit late, and if they watch it, they watch it.
So what else was in our video?
Your coop idea.
Chicken coop.
So this week I have to finish building the coop. I have to finish off the doghouse.
We don't have that many days.
Well, I've just got to do it because I'm building a little trap door to replace their feeders, so I don't get myself in the same pickle as Nico did, not being able to refill that feeder. So I have a plan in my head for a trap door.
Yeah.
So I've got to get that done, but I need to get the coop done first.
Not everybody's watched it.
Y'all, what's the matter with y'all? It's and the rain.
So
they haven't seen it yet.
A new chicken coop. And this one, I've been telling you since we had a protege that I wanted to put one there. We just hadn't talked about it much in videos.
Somebody commented today the exact same thing I said to you when I was editing the video. And I was like, yeah, I agree with you. It's not happening.
Multiple people. There are at least 3 comments.
I just saw one I know of, but I said that to you as soon as I heard it. Y'all need to understand that what goes in the video, I don't always hear it the first time it's said. Zoe may be away from me talking, and I don't hear it until I'm editing. And she says, and we're here, will be a little gazebo where we can have dinner. And I was like, Zoe, that's not happening. Why? I'm not eating dinner beside the dang chicken coop. Well, it's not going to be no such thing. I'm not eating dinner by no chicken coop. Yes, this will be pretty, but it's still a chicken coop. And then here come the comments, and I was like, there you go.
We have never had a smelly chicken coop.
We have not had one because we let them out.
Well, that's
and cleaned
we take preventative measures from having
That's right.
So when I think about it, I don't think, it's going to be beside a smelly coop. No, it's because we've never had that issue.
We didn't. The chicken coop that we had here, we had chickens in it for 3 years, and it never smelled, but you kept it cleaned out, and we put stuff in it and changed shavings. That's fine, but I'm still not eating dinner beside it.
Well, you can eat dinner by yourself.
That'd be fine, as long as I ain't eating beside no chicken coop.
But it's going to be pretty.
I was so tickled to see them comments, though.
I'm sure you were. My inspiration picture, we won't have a silo naturally.
No.
But
it was an inspiration. It doesn't mean we were copying it word for word.
But I have it in my head, and I know what I want.
Well, then you build it.
Okay.
Because whatever I build is going to be there. I'm trying to say, hey, what do you want here and there? And we did that, putting up the posts and all. But this ain't going to be like the protege. This is a one and done. Yeah. What you get is what you get.
Well, and I told told you I like the way that our goat hut is.
Yeah.
I just want something like that, but on a smaller scale for chickens
Yeah.
to roost in. Have some nesting boxes on the front of it. That way we can go in and clean on that side door, but the rest of it be open air.
I can't repeat that. What they
Oh.
good restaurant ideas. Tanya got her first batch of cheap peaches yesterday. Speaking of which, I don't know what Lori's talking about. She must be talking about that tick thing. That would not pass out by my health. It's not a restaurant. But no, I'm not eating by the chicken coop. I don't care how clean we keep it. Okay. So, from the last live, Zoe announced during the live that she had a tick on her.
In my pants.
In her pants. Because she could feel a hard spot along her leg.
And it wasn't moving.
And I felt, and I was like, it's not a tick. And I know Zoe, it's not a tick. Well, she is now, shortly after that, feeling things crawling on her all over. There's stuff crawling in her hair because she's convinced she had a tick on her leg. So, being the good husband that I am, Lori, give me a drum roll. I checked Zoe for ticks right after the live. It was a fuzz, like lint ball.
Fuzz attached to my jaw.
Like a lint ball. Not a tick. I told y'all it wasn't a tick before we got off here. And I said, Zoe, we need to go get back on the live. Just tell them this wasn't a tick. No tick.
I mean, that's a great thing. I'm glad it wasn't a tick.
But you were disappointed. You were disappointed that it wasn't a tick.
I just knew it was. It wasn't that I wanted to be bit by a tick, but I just knew it was because I didn't want to get sick.
No, you didn't know it was. You thought it was.
I knew it was.
I knew it was not. You thought it was. I think
it fell off and you found a fuzz said
in the exact same spot. Only the lunatic. No, you thought it was. I knew it was not. And we got in there and it was not. And I was, Zoe, that's not a tick. Yes, it is. It fell off. So
I let you check all on the floor.
Y'all, we did an experiment, and this is way too much information.
Oh gosh, what are you gonna say?
When you removed the pants, there was no tick on your leg, right? So Zoe says it fell off, and we're looking for it everywhere in the bathroom floor. She pulls the pants back up, and it's right back in the same spot. So then we checked the inside pants leg, and there it was. But she's still convinced it fell off.
She said, but you had fun looking for it. I think at that point he was more perturbed with me than anything.
Because she continued to tell me that it was there. It's crawling around the floor. There's nothing in here. We dropped it. It must be in my sock. No. I used to lecture on skin parasites, and by the time I was done, everyone was scratching. Zoe would be. I do. If I get a bug of any kind, like if I see a tick one time, that's it. They're in my hair, they're in my shirt, they're everywhere. Diana said, when in doubt, check her out. Now I got them in my nose. They're everywhere. I want to wish you a happy Father's Day. I love watching both of y'all's videos. Keep up the wonderful work you two do for your subscribers. Thank you very much. Well, thank you, Dorothy. So was the song Yakety Sax playing while you were looking? Snakes and bugs. Nope, nope, nope. Did the lint have a sticker in it? No, it was just a little ball of pajama fuzz. That's all it was. Late night antics. I was a biology teacher, described leech therapy once and had a student pass out. I've seen that. It's like a circulation therapy and they stick the leeches to you intentionally. thought it was kind of neat, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is what it is. You can quit all that.
Yes, that's the face I'm trying to make.
That lady's gonna tell you being stupid again.
See, Lori did it.
She found it in her faces somewhere.
Yes, they have benefits apparently, and I just hope I never have to go through that because.
Which movie was it where the boys are in the swamp and one of them pulls a leech off of him?
I don't remember.
Is that Stand By Me?
I don't remember.
Y'all gonna remember. One of y'all tell me. Is that the name? Is that the movie? Was it Stand By Me where the boys they're looking for the body and on the railroad tracks and they're in the swamp and pull a leech off? That's what Lori thinks is Stand By Me too.
Yes.
I've been freaked out ever since I saw that. That boy pulls that leech off him and then they realize they're all over all of them. I was like, man, we've got a place on the river. I can't be jumping back off in there. And they were like, this water moves too much to have leeches. Don't worry about it. And that's what they told me. So I never had a leech on me.
I don't really care for water you can't see.
Well, I never had one on me. They were probably lying, but when we had the place on the lake, they always told me, well, this water moves too much to have leeches. You're all right. That's in stagnant water. That was probably a lie. Yeah. Because they also told me that frogs' legs grew back.
Yeah, they lied to me.
That was a lie, too. Lorraine's friend runs trails every weekend, and he always has leeches on him. What? They like, in Tasmania, they're like ticks. They just jump on you as you run through the woods.
What is this world?
I thought you had to get in the water. The North Carolina girl, I don't need to know it was a lie. I figured it was, but don't confirm it.
That's
I was guessing it was probably a lie, but don't confirm it.
I have come to
in the long wet grass. So y'all have leeches just hanging out in the grass.
And people run in long wet grass. What kind?
They have a lake named Leech Lake in Minnesota.
Let me just say one thing. I've come to the conclusion of
what?
The only place I am safe is in my bed.
You're not safe in your bed.
I have a big old leech called Rhett.
There's a leech out there with your name on it. You ain't safe in your bed. He's lost to be drug a tick in there. You're going to end up with a tick on you in bed.
No. Okay.
Beth talking about a different kind of therapy. I don't even want to repeat. You're just how people gagging or something. But it is true.
I know.
I just didn't want to repeat it. Would you stop making them faces? I'm going to make you do the lives by yourself just because of the way you act. Are you sure it's not slugs in the long wet grass? Now, I could see slugs in it, but y'all, hey, Stephanie, she's in Tasmania. They got different kind of animals over there.
They got walking spiders and big.
They ain't no telling what they got over there. They got leeches just hanging out in the grass.
They got kangaroos.
All kind of stuff that kill you. Huh?
They got kangaroos boxing in the road.
Chance was so helpful at the event. He took care of everybody as long as you gave him money. Chance is your errand runner.
Yeah.
Because he don't want to sit still.
Yeah.
If you need something from the concession stand, he's your man.
Yeah.
Give him money and send him.
Yeah.
Except I was not sending him after y'all's funnel cake and big travel rolls. He would have dropped it. Y'all, I've got to tell y'all something funny. You will get the biggest kick. I told this at Deacon's breakfast this morning.
About the
They thought that was so no.
Oh.
They thought it was so funny. When I brought the Oreos back, I mean that y'all, you talking about fresh. These Oreos and funnel cake was straight out of the grease.
Yeah.
So I bring them back and I can feel it through them trays. And I hand them to Zoe. And she's taking the other tray that had the Oreos, and they're kind of swapping them back and forth because she's basically fixing Red a little tray so he can sit down on the blanket and be done. She gets him a piece of funnel cake and a couple Oreos. She gets in his tray. He's ready to sit down, and Coach Andy is right behind me. And Rhett picks up back to bite, and he said, "Boy, you better give it a minute. That's going to be like lava inside your mouth. It's going to burn you up." Well, Rhett looks at this. Do y'all know? Have y'all ever had deep fried Oreos? If y'all have never had it, it's just Oreos that are battered and fried, and then they're covered in powdered sugar.
Mm-hmm. Like a
Well,
funnel cake.
you tell a 6-year-old that it's too hot to eat, and the first thing he wants to do is blow it. And Coach Eddie says, "Boy, you better not eat that right now." Rhett goes, and then powdered sugar went everywhere. It looked like it exploded. I had to tell that at Deacon's meet this morning. They got the biggest kick out of that. Rhett was going to blow it to cool it off. It was covered in powdered sugar. It looked like it snowed. Well, they said no questions asked. What did Tennessee Mountain Man say? I must have missed something.
Keep going. There's a community in Tennessee called Tick Bush.
Oh, here in Central Florida, if the water is wet, there's a gator, snake, shark, flesh-eating bacteria, amoeba, some kind of thing that's going to get. Yeah,
all at the same time.
Have you ever eaten snails? No, not intentionally. I hadn't. Not that I'm aware of. The county of Australia motto should be "Come and visit." Oh, country. That's economy. Learn many ways to die from our wildlife.
Yeah,
Leeches like damp places. He did the fun run in Sydney the weekend, had 7 leeches on him by the time he finished. I wonder if they run through some swampy areas, though. You know, those warrior runs kind of run through swamp and stuff. So that could be where leeches come from. I wonder. I imagine them people are laughing at Rick blowing powdered sugar everywhere. Did it look like I ain't getting into politics. You ain't dragging me into that. Deep fried Oreos and Twinkies is molten lava. I've never had the Twinkie one. I've had deep fried Oreos before, but I bought those for Rhett. He had never had them, and he is truly in love with deep fried Oreos now that he's had them. But he did find out that you can't blow them to cool them off.
No, and you can't eat them right away.
Somehow it didn't manage to go towards you. He held it up and blew it, but it didn't get on you. I was waiting for you to be covered in powdered sugar, but I was kind of disappointed it didn't happen.
You're disappointed.
I was going to venture that leeches came from the pit along with snakes. I've never heard of deep fried Twinkies. I think I've seen them. I've just never had one. I think I've seen them at a fair or something, but I didn't get one. You need to get that food truck that sells all the popular fair foods.
That'd be a good idea.
That thing, oh my gosh, he had chicken on stick.
Oh yeah,
and he had jumbo corn dogs. That thing looked like your arm.
Yeah, it was like a foot long corn hot dog tray, but it was wide, like a big old box.
Zoe said, "I don't know what that lady's got, but I want one." And I went over there, and when I saw it go out the window, I was like, "That's what Zoe was looking for. That's a giant corn dog." But
oh gosh, she said I saw a short where somebody blew out candles on a cake covered in powdered sugar and it caught on fire.
We need to see if that food truck we ate at can come to Pedals.
The Smash Masters.
Y'all, they had smash burgers, and we ate there and found out later that Brooke and Jason had eaten there. But golly, you talking about good hamburgers and hand-cut fries. They had like old-style homemade French fries. You could tell they were homemade. Oh, they were some good. That was a dang good smash burger.
It was really good.
If I could, I'd drive to the Pedals event. Well, come on.
Yes, you would.
Deep fried Snickers. We ain't going to tell Red about them. I love the cactus taters. Jacob, what's a cactus tater? The guy who started some of that is a fair food guy named Chicken Charlie.
So we used to have a company here that set up, fair food every weekend. back
It
there.
was the fair company up there in
That's what I'm
Lomax.
talking about. So
That was the well, you said a company that set up fair food. They actually set up fairs.
yeah, right.
They were setting up their food
They
truck.
did it during the pandemic,
They
so
did.
people could still get.
And
They could still
it
utilize
worked,
their
too.
food trailer and all, and people would drive and line up and order fair food, and you would pick it up out of your car window.
Dad said it's after 10 p.m. Thanks for making me hungry for bedtime. Tanya said Texas State Fair had deep fried butter
Oh, that sounds
and
like
deep fried
my
Kool-Aid.
heart would bust.
How bad is the parking for pedals?
I don't think it's terrible. It's not a
Later in the day, it can get a little busy where they're parking at the other place, but they actually have golf carts and stuff running
Yeah.
people back and forth. It's not like you got to walk. They'll pick you up and give you a ride.
Mm-hmm.
If you have to park, there's another farm there called Mountain View Orchards, and they use some parking over there. And they actually have these golf carts and stuff shuttling people back and forth because it's across the road. We was answering questions. Do you need to finish talking about your fair food?
No,
I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to interrupt.
no, we don't need to talk about food the whole time. You know, I need some. Take your glasses off a minute.
Would you quit picking at me like a daggum ape? It's like you're picking bugs off. It's your hair you're picking off on me, so leave it alone. What's my eyelash bothering you?
I didn't want it to get back in your eye, big man.
Leave it alone.
Okay, next time, don't you say
you like one of these gorillas picking bugs off.
If you got close to me, close enough to pick bugs off, I'd be so excited.
I checked you for ticks. That's bugs.
You didn't smile about it.
I wasn't smiling about it.
You know, I'm not going to say what I should have done.
Deep fried ribs are often just boil them first. So they ain't tough.
You could do country style ribs like
well,
because I have some in the freezer.
I've never had I take that back. I have tried a deep fried rib. One of the guys I worked with did some. But I'm afraid of having to boil them because if you boil ribs before you cook them, people around here run you off.
My daddy always boiled ribs.
Yeah, but that ain't.
And then he would put them.
Zoe, that's like putting sugar in your cornbread. You don't boil ribs.
Yeah.
Somebody that cooks ribs has got to back this up. You don't boil them. That's
maybe it's the type because his always came out real tender.
They will, but
maybe people do it, just don't say they do it.
Go tell somebody that does legitimate ribs that you gonna boil them.
I ain't here for legitimate. I'm here for tasting good.
Don't tell them they wouldn't know. Isn't there a country song that says I'll check you for ticks? There is. There certainly is. I don't know about all that. I'm going to be there before the gates open, she said.
Her nephew Julian is watching.
Well, hello, Julian. Give him a shout out.
Hey, Julian. Let's see.
I was raised with boiled ribs.
I wonder if it's
no, never boil ribs. Thank you. There's somebody with me. Boiling ribs is sacrilegious. No, you know. Now, y'all, for Ed's benefit, he may be talking about just doing that if you're deep frying.
Right.
We're talking there's people, and I'm gonna say that they probably ain't from the South. They might be living here, but they ain't from here, or they didn't learn to cook ribs here. That they boil them and then they put them on the grill like they're smoking, and that's just
about that. Now, Mr. Ed, could you boil them? Could you do country style ribs like that? Because I have some, I ain't figured out how.
You could, yes, you could do that in deep fry, but yes, boy, I started something. So Ed's probably saying that that's how you do it to deep fry them, and I think you probably wouldn't get too much blowback for boiling them before you fried them. But good gracious, don't boil your ribs before you put them on smoker or grill or whatever. So
Ribs and potatoes are different. But
that's just a terrible thing to do.
always my
You
potatoes-
undercook your potatoes every time.
You gonna eat them?
It's a dirty
I didn't underboil them today.
Don't say it.
I did not.
Don't say it.
I didn't.
Don't say it.
You want me to prove it?
You already proved it. I ate it.
I'll bring one in here and it'll mash right up.
You might find one that's soft in there. They's about half and half.
If I go 1 minute longer, you say, "These is mashed
Once you boil them, cover them with barbecue sauce, they would not know the difference.
Put them up
Only, Lorraine, only in Tasmania. If you boil a rib here and you throw sauce on it, they are gonna know. People will know if you boiled them ribs. There ain't no doubt. There's a texture difference. There's a place difference. He said just deep frying for sure. Never boil ribs when you're grilling.
I don't have to do that.
Come to the State Fair of Texas. We'd have a great time. When is the State Fair in Texas?
Sounds like a good idea.
Maybe it's a northern thing, she said. When is the Texas State Fair? Because, Texas State Fair has their own brand of corn dogs.
Oh, yeah, they do. They sell them at Walmart.
I love a corn dog from the fair. Have you ever had a corn dog that was better than what you got at a fair?
No.
No. That's a fact.
Right.
It's just, for those in the North, we are saying, boy, oh. Thank you for the translating. You let that fat cook and start a fire just like Zoe does. Cook potatoes in Instapot. Do we even have an Instapot?
I didn't.
I tried to make Zoe not use that
scared of
because I'm so against that air fryer that I don't want her to have an Instapot because that food has no flavor. I don't like it at all. Not even a little bit.
Instapot is just.
I've never had an Instapot, so I don't know.
It's just
talking about air fryer.
It's just a method of cooking. You have to season the food to have flavor. You don't put it in there and it says, "Oh, she put no salt added." Let me no salt add. This is air fryer.
How come the air fryer don't have any taste?
That's user error, not air fryer error.
That air fryer chicken wings, I hate them. Oh my gosh, they're terrible. They're awful.
What else you gonna complain about?
Alabama, remember me from Los Angeles.
Yep. I sure do.
My favorite saying and what I try to live by is love is a verb. That is what Nick was saying in that last video. He just said it in his words. See, I don't got to tell you. I just build you stuff and work on stuff.
And be grumpy.
Tell you.
If he ain't grumpy, he ain't happy.
I don't have to tell you nothing. How many times I'm going to have to redo this protege?
You're not.
Not no more.
Because you was grumpy.
It don't matter if I was grumpy. I did it. I love fresh cut French fries, crunchy. Oh, man, they were good. Oh, Lord, here it comes. I have a friend who boils ribs in seasoned beef stock and then grills them on an outdoor grill. They live in Canada. That sounds like some Canada stuff, Meg. Meg, you need to come to Alabama and get you some ribs because let me tell you, and I'm not going to call him out too bad. But let me tell you.
You know when people say but, that means disregard everything I just said.
Well, I'm talking about Roman.
Okay. He's okay.
Yeah. So we have a local barbecue place, and y'all, there's lots of good barbecue around here.
The area.
There's lots of good barbecue around here. The Central Alabama barbecue competition is coming up here pretty soon. But y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, if you are looking for barbecue, especially ribs, if you find you a large black man in a bowling shirt, and that bowling shirt don't even button, he knows what he's doing.
He does.
I guarantee you, if you find that in a barbecue place, you are guaranteed. What was the guy he wore? He actually wore overalls. He didn't wear a bowling shirt, I don't think, but he was always on those cooking competitions. It was like Big Mo or something like that. He looked kind of like Roman. I said, that guy's gonna win right there. He knows what he's doing. No doubt he knows what he's doing. And I was right.
He has to travel from all around the U.S. to eat
People
his food.
travel for these dang channels that do food. They come and test out Herd's Barbecue because he knows what he's doing.
You know what I saw today?
Well, I ain't no telling what they had today.
Honey walnut shrimp.
There?
He has been making Chinese
Rib.
food.
Oh my gosh. Lorraine said you can't buy ribs there. They had a takeaway store that had the best ribs, but they closed down. Can't buy raw ribs anywhere to cook. My goodness. Tex Bull Bear said end of September, October. Their accents are so funny,
Texas
but cool.
Fair. Into September, October.
Gotcha. Whose accents? I don't know what you're talking
Honest.
about. Was somebody talking about our accents? You two crack me up. Somebody, I don't talk funny, y'all do. End of September for the Texas Fair.
Fair.
Slattered with mustard too. Yeah, I'll take it. Golly. That thing runs for like 3 weeks.
I want to go at the beginning though. That way they got everything.
Instant Pot is a modern pressure cooker. That means I'm out.
I'm scared of pressure cookers.
We boil our pork ribs in Sweet Baby Ray's
Boil.
for I don't know how long till it falls off the bone and quits on me. Y'all. And Carolina is known for their own style of barbecue there in North Carolina. Girl, you are just getting people on your bad side.
Donna said
Air fryer gets rid of the grease now. That's why wings don't work in the air fryer. Yeah, they don't.
Donna said you parboil ribs and sauce them, they'll take your Southern card.
Donna, you are speaking the truth. Don't you boil your ribs and then put sauce on them. My husband and I are called in covered in passion ivy.
Poison.
That don't say poison. That says passion ivy. You ever been covered in passion ivy, Zoe?
I'm covered in passion ivy for you every day. I'll make you itchy.
Dare to be sunny might be blushing. It's the body.
She can wrap herself in aloe leaves and say, "Come here, let me share that itch."
I have baby Dutch golden potatoes. I like the roast. I'll take that.
Well, we already there, baby doll. We are already there.
I'm so unbearably jealous we don't have anything good up in the north as far as barbecue. Lori, if you're coming in September, you have your choice on every corner of a good barbecue restaurant.
Yeah.
Yes, I love him. Catherine must know Roman.
Mm-hmm.
One of the nicest people on the planet. Him and his wife both.
Yeah.
But you talk about throwing down on food. Oh,
y'all need to have him bring y'all Chinese.
I didn't know he was doing Chinese. Zoe, he's a barbecue restaurant.
Chinese and Mexican.
But I tell you what, when he has done some of his burgers,
right?
I mean, he started
a donut burger that was.
I ain't worried about that. But he's got, oh my gosh.
You should see that shrimp. I almost said, when are you doing it again? So you can go by and get us some, because I can't find the perfect honey walnut.
We had an outage season one time where I checked his menu every day waiting on oxtails. And when he posted it,
you brought me a big old thing.
Off I went. I said, I need 3 plates of them oxtails. I went straight there. That's when Lance's daughter from church, she still worked there then.
Yeah, Lacey.
She still worked there. I walked in the door, she was just grinning. I said, you better have these mocktails. Oh, it was good. Kansas City has a large barbecue contest. I think it's in October. Kansas City should. Kansas City is like kind of like North Carolina and also kind of Texas. They have their own different styles of barbecue. So you got different styles. You got some Memphis that's a little bit different too. But y'all, there's good barbecue everywhere. You just got to find the style you like. But ain't none of it going to be boiled. Unless you're in Canada. Yeah.
There's a moth flying around that landed on it.
We had a moth last week.
Well, that one scared me. Thank you.
I'm going to get him set up his truck at the range to sell to Billingsley. Do it. I saw where so This guy was just a few miles from my work, and then he opened up a store in Clanton, which was 20 miles away. I couldn't get any more. He moved back and was doing like a few food truck in Maplesville again because he just said he was led to be away from the brick and mortar. Now he's doing brick and mortar again. He's going to another county. He's going to Bibb County. I may not ever get no more Hearns barbecue unless he's in that food truck.
Good thing we know where Bibb County is.
I know exactly where it is. I go find him. Barbecue in North Carolina means chopped and either has tomato-based or vinegar-based sauce. Slow cooked overnight, whole pig, and then chopped. I live by the famous Lexington barbecue. Now, all barbecue ain't just chopped. You got some ribs thrown in there too, North Carolina girl, but it is a lot of it vinegar-based sauce. And then Kansas City, don't quote me on this, but I think theirs is more of the sweet type sauce, I think.
Alabama's got a white sauce.
Alabama's a white barbecue sauce, and you can get some heat to it, but it's good though.
Yeah.
It's real good. Big Mo Pitmaster Barbecue. Joni, that's him. He always wore overalls. Well, Big Mo looks a lot like Roman just build-wise. I mean, not in the face.
Yeah.
But Roman always has on a bowling shirt.
Yeah.
And it's unbuttoned because he's comfortable, he's cooking, he's on the pit. But let me tell you, the man knows what he's doing. Yeah. On everything he cooks. I don't care what he cooks. Yeah. Everything he cooks is good.
Yep.
Now we got to stop talking about food.
I know. Don't make us want to eat.
I'm in Big Bob Gibson town. Big Bob Gibson knows what he's doing. No, Fly Lady, we ain't parboiling. There's Lisa. Two of the guys I went to school with won that pitmaster thing. They opened a little hut on the side of the road.
Now all of us going to get some barbecue tomorrow.
Yeah. All this talk of ribs making me hungry.
Diane's gonna go eat leftover spaghetti. Thanks to you. Sorry, Diane's gonna have leftover barbecue in our fridge.
Well, that Stephanie said that's a Zoeism, and I'm not sure what I'm talking about there. Yeah, she was blushing, but was on my fence in my garden. I just happened to be allergic to it, but she is blushing. Well, you the one that called it passion ivy.
Makes you want to get real close.
It's called the American Royal. It's at the Kansas Speedway in November. Might have to visit that too. Gilmer, Texas. Rain, rain, rain. We know what you mean. Memphis in May is the big event there, Ed said.
Yeah.
Man from West 420 has a friend in Fort Payne, huh?
I said, so that's done come and gone.
KC has no sauce. It's dry rub on. I know that because we were in St. Louis and had sauce, but maybe theirs is not a Kansas City style. Maybe St. Louis is different. So I don't know. Told you I ain't no expert. I
don't like dry. I gotta have sauce. Everything I do is sauce.
I do like some sauce.
I'm all about.
Catherine says she loves vinegar-based sauce. I like some of it too. Oh, I like vinegar mock sauce, Edie said. I love vinegar based. KC no sauce. Texas is saucy and sweet. Okay. Look, I'm not a barbecue expert. Head and Country barbecue sauce is the best.
Is anyone in the chat not eating?
Catherine says she's going to find Roman tomorrow. Passion.
He's got that Chinese food.
Passion ivy gives you that itch, Zoe.
The Zoeism was the passion.
Yeah, but it was somebody else that said it. Worst part is I live with my brother and he wouldn't eat them. He won't eat anything different. He won't eat the skin on chicken. That's the best part.
I don't like chicken on a bone. I get it.
The power went out because of storms at 1 o'clock today in Killeen, Texas. And say they're storming in Arkansas right now. Our signal's still crap, but I don't think we've went out. Nobody said anything, so I guess we're hanging on.
Yeah. We got kudzu. People lose their religion over trying to get rid of it.
Oh, that's the same everywhere. North Carolina girl.
My house we had before.
Kudzu everywhere.
When we first met, that house had lots of kudzu, didn't it?
It did.
It was terrible to try to keep up with.
Is the Cajun place close to Jones Feed any good?
We have-
Yes.
Have you had it?
Had a chicken sandwich from there. From the You Better Eat.
Yeah.
You Better Eat is the name of it. It's a Cajun place. You better eat. Yes, I had a chicken sandwich from there. It was good. They brought it out there to the plant.
They're a little pricey.
Yeah, but they're not as high as that other Cajun joint down there.
I guess Cajun in
205.
general is just pricey.
There's a Cajun restaurant across from Durbin's down there at the interstate that's way, way overpriced for this area.
The old steakhouse building.
Yeah, you can't be doing that. Not around here. You won't keep your doors open very long if you charge people $30 for an appetizer. Just don't work out. Everybody now wants some barbecue, and I'm sorry, y'all.
Oh, we know Dare to be Sunny. We're just giving you a hard time.
What?
I didn't mean to say Passion Ivy.
Yeah, we know that. I thought it was funny. I was glad you did it because I got to use it on Zoe. But no, I knew what you meant. I was just playing. Tell you where I ate the other day, and it was so good. The frozen goat.
So
I hadn't been there yet.
Never been there, but it's my kind of place. Like it would be. I love chicken salad and pimento cheese and that deli style. I love that kind of stuff.
They said storming in Georgia. That's probably what has moved through here.
Mm-hmm.
There was really bad storms stayed south of us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably what Tanya saw, but they stayed south.
Yeah.
And we got just a clip of it, just enough to mess with our internet service. Can't tell you have a bad signal. We haven't yet, but I'm watching it. Kansas City is known for tomato-based sauce that's thick and can be sweet, tangy, or spicy. Well, I trust Jones Christie because that's where she's from.
Yeah.
She's from some Kansas. Well, or lives there. Won't say from there, but that's where she lives. I saw Hank and Zoe's video. Where's the other puppy?
Honey is there.
She don't come out.
She does a little bit. Oh,
not much.
But she comes out a little bit, but she heads right back into that fence. So we'll open the gates up to let the goats out to graze, but they can get back in to where the water and all is. So the puppies can come out too, but Honey will come out just for a few minutes, but she goes right back in.
She goes back in and lays down. She don't care nothing about being out there.
Somebody did ask what was the purpose of having dogs if they're in the fence all the time.
Well, I explained that.
Okay.
I think I replied to that. Somebody did say, if you're going to put the dogs in the fence, what's the point in having them? Because they're going to be assigned to protecting that group of animals.
Right. It's their job.
All the dogs won't be in the fence, but those will be in the fence to protect them because they have an egg habit.
Mm-hmm.
I need them away from eggs.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple. I'm not going to lie to you. That's the reason that I am putting those dogs to protect that group of animals is because they have an egg habit. They won't leave my guinea eggs alone and goose eggs.
Well, right now the goat pen's kind of smaller, but when we enlarge that goat pen, there's going to be a lot of area for them to have to, protect.
And it won't be all at one time, but it'll be a large area split 2 or 3 times. But either way, they'll be able to get to all that without getting to where the eggs are.
Right.
I boil ribs with vinegar to make them tender before they are grilled. To each their own. I say, hey, some people put sugar in their cornbread too. It's okay if that's the way you choose to do it. It's just, I would take too much heat for doing it because I've got too many people I know that do competition barbecue. And they was like, you are disowned forever. Don't you ever cook another rib ever if you're going to boil it.
Well, that would be a good way to.
And I don't do competition.
That would be a good way to get out of cooking the meat for something.
Boil it first. No, it's okay if that's how people do it. I'm giving y'all a hard time.
I will say.
People put sugar in grits and they put sugar in cornbread, and it don't belong in either one. But if that's what you like, you go right ahead.
We'll say if anybody is local, while we're talking on food, if anybody is local and wants to buy a chicken plate for next week, our boys all
half chickens.
Half chicken
plate
with some sides, and I have 500 cookies today.
Zoe is doing the cookies.
And so if anybody wants to, buy a chicken plate, you're more than welcome to reach out.
Yeah, if you're local, pick it up in Verbena on June the 28th.
Yep. And
I forgot about that.
we can give you some information on that. They're $15 a piece, and the boys are selling those.
Diane, I tried my best to get off food. I'm sorry. She said, "Don't make me eat dessert too." I have tried to steer away from food 2 different times, but then I'm sorry. They're also home to Krispy Kreme donuts in her hometown. That's not a good thing. That would be bad, bad, bad to be in the hometown of Krispy Kreme. Tony got stuck in her friend's chicken coop Friday because it started raining.
Oh no. I've been stuck in mine because I didn't have a latch on the inside.
Journey along with Jen, they were both in the clip of Chance running with thieves.
Yes.
When they were going to food,
Yeah.
Hank and Honey were both running behind him.
I was thinking that.
Unless the guineas lay in the goat.
That's on them.
Lorraine, if they do that, ain't nothing I can do for them. You sure are pretty this evening, Zoe Baker.
Thanks, Mom.
I'm a fan. My heathen state, not so much.
I did, Christy. I got it, and I got it sitting there waiting to transfer just until I, get all my collections done. And we appreciate it.
I hunted after we talked about making cornbread. Couldn't find ground corn. Y'all don't have cornmeal in Tasmania?
Cornmeal. Matt, bring me that cornmeal.
They might not, Zoe. I don't know, but
it's in that.
Surely Tasmania has cornmeal. Where in Verbena? You pick up at the high school football field. That's where they'll be. They will start cooking the chickens at 5 a.m.
I think pickup's 11 to 1.
11 to 1.
And they're $15 a piece, and it's a half a chicken, 2 sides, and a dessert.
That's right.
Yeah,
Nick and Zoe's weekly live food chat. I'm sorry.
It is.
I'm sorry. We just got on the subject. Couldn't get off of it.
This was ours. Yellow cornmeal.
That's not even a good brand.
It's not, but it'll work. It'll do.
All right, Zoe, we're over.
Yep.
We need to get off here, and I'm sure Rhett needs something. I don't know what. He needs something.
Okay.
Mom wants. She wants a chicken plate. So I've already got like 7 orders for chicken plates.
Good.
No, we're not talking about cornbread. Y'all, we're doing a live Wednesday, and we are not going to talk about food.
We're going to ignore all the food.
I'm ignoring food comments on Wednesday.
We did talk about chicken coop. That's kind of food, but it's before it becomes food.
Oh goodness, North Carolina girl wants a chicken plate. You gonna have it? I can't ship it to you. All right, Zoe.
We'll see y'all on Wednesday. Bye.
Bye, y'all. I was reading